Okay, as we saw earlier in the unit, Michael Faraday came up with the interesting concept of how to generate electricity using what we call electromagnetic induction. Basically, what this means is if you take a magnet, right, and you move it in and out of a coil of wire, the electric in this electric field, magnetic field, will produce a electrical current. This is the premise of how generators work. Okay, so now we're going to try to do another example here. All right, then you guys are going to take a little quiz to check for your understanding. So, let's read here. If a step-up transformer has a primary coil with 15 turns, how many turns would be required in the secondary coil in order to increase the voltage from 80 volts to 160? So this is the information that we have provided for us in our word problem. When doing these, I like to set up basically a little table here, like so. All right, I like to put turns over here, volts over here. Primary, we're going to abbreviate that with a 1. Secondary, we'll abbreviate it with a 2. Okay, so for here, I'm just going to plug in the information that I have. So back to my word problem. All right, so the first primary turns is 15. You don't have to worry about putting your units in these particular examples here because they don't really combine. Okay, so we're just showing you how to work a ratio problem here. So we're looking at how many turns, right? We're looking for this one, right? Would be required for the secondary coil in order to increase the voltage from 80 volts to 160 volts. So just have to look at the English language here. So we're increased from this to that. So from this, that's your primary, so that's your 80 volts there. And we're going to increase that to the 160 volts here. So at this point we have everything we need in order to solve the equation here. So what we do is we just do a series of cross multiplication. Okay, so we'll write it like so. So this is 80 volts here, right? And we're going to be we're multiplying that times T2, the number of turns in the secondary. All right, and that's going to be equal to these guys here, so 15 multiplied times 160. All right, so we multiply 15 times 160, that gives us 2,400, right? Equal to 80 times T2. So in order to find T2, we just divide this side by 80. And T2 is going to equal 30 turns. Now you have to write, obviously, the units or whatever you're talking about at the end. In this case, it's the number of turns. Okay, so that's basically how you do these. So it's just a simple ratio problem. You multiply and divide. Okay, so at this time you should go to the Schoology page and go ahead and take the short little quiz over transformer calculations.